What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the Writer's Room presented by Breaking and Entering. I'm Alan Halas. I'm joined, as always, by my co-host, River West cohort, host of the Mr. Nice Guy podcast, the music director for Breaking and Entering, and now the owner of Nice Guy PR, whatever it is, PR guy extraordinaire. Just a good dude. Ben Slowey is here. Ben, how are you doing today, man?
Thanks. It's weird hearing that verbalized. Nice guy press. I'm good. Speaking of that, if you're listening and you need a press release written or an artist bio done for your social media, hit me up on Fiverr. I am freelancing now. I just had my first client and feeling good about that. So, yeah, Alan, I'm doing pretty well today.
Nice.
How are you?
I'm doing really well. It is a wintry scene outside of me, just over the edge here. I can see the snow coming down. But I'm feeling good. I'm being productive. I'm getting stuff done. Shout out to anybody that's watching that might have come across our site from the NAMM conference that would normally be in Anaheim. I would have been there, had we all been allowed to get together, but I'm doing the virtual thing with everybody this week, so business is moving, as always, you know what I mean? So it is no shortage, no sleep, none of that. I don't know, feeling good.
Yeah, even though, January is a very, desolate and, dormant month in terms of, going out and doing things. It's a very, very busy month for us.
Yeah.
Because we got to, set the year straight, on the right foot. And we have had so much content to work through. I mean, everyone is dropping to start their years off right, too. So.
Yep, absolutely. I was just going to say, New Year's rolls around, and then all of a sudden everybody wants to make it their year again. Which, you know what? After the year that 2020 was, who can blame them? Same goes for us, too. We are in that same boat where we just want to, get shit started and get things going. So with that, I say we get into our first video. Let's get things started for the Writer's Room for this week. The first video is from Ace Parker, who has consistently been dropping some material as of late. This is a video from, I believe he had a full project that this was with. This was like the interlude from it, or the intro maybe. But this is Bad Connection by Ace Parker. Check it out.
I think I fell in love with the bad connection. Wi-Fi off, no hotel reception. I can't really love, I'm just too possessive. Left you in the car cause you mad depressive. Church on a Sunday, we need direction. We need some more than communication. I need to hear what you keeping lately. You need to see that I'm for you, baby. I set the jeans in the dryer. You screaming, call me a liar. I do the dishes and fill up your gas. You wanna stay pathetic and mad, and loving gets tiring, hoping we crash. I wrote you songs for the trips to your dad's. You snap at K's when I tap up the paragraphs. How to be perfect for someone so trash, but I love you right back. I won't leave you relaxed. And that in my head cause the family asks why I ain't in my bag. Why I put up with this minimum effort. Get so happy to sad in a second. Put me right up in it, right out of depression. How do you love when she treats you so reckless? I guess it helps to know that when you're forced with the pressure of having the one that makes you too obsessive. And right now I deal with the things that's gon' stress her, cause I ain't got time to be looking for that only one that will make me feel special. I think I fell in love with the bad connection. Preach, Sunday church. I think I fell in love with the bad connection. Preach. I think I fell in love with a bad connection. Feel at this point, should've learned my lesson. Cycles and games, she's another vixen. I get caught up cause he's nice been different. Back up, you don't give me distance. He broke your heart, but these days who did it? I go to church but my mama's tripping. I talk to God when I come to visit. Like why I'm involved with these types of women. Feeling her walls got a heart condition. She shuts me off these entitled bitches. Lost in the cause if I'm too persistent. See, I'm an artist who love addicted. I'ma write songs when I get conflicted. But don't think this shit mean it's ammunition. Yeah, guess I'm hard to love. I think I fell in love with the bad connection. Preach. Sunday church, I think I fell in love with the bad connection. Preach. Sunday church, I think I fell in love with the bad connection. Preach. Sunday church, I think I fell in. Yeah. Y'all get it.
That was Ace Parker with Bad Connection here on the Writers' Room. And Ben, that's just a sample of some of the great music that we have every day at Breaking and Entering. But there's a ton of music that has been happening this week. And we've been on top of it already. So normally what we do is we put out a post and then we put it out on social media. And then over the, I usually schedule it like on the hour on the weekend too so that people can see it. And we have Saturday and Sunday, and we're already into like posts on Sunday. It's Tuesday night, like we're already scheduled that far in with social media posts, which is crazy for me. But lots and lots of great music coming out of Milwaukee to start the year. Just an amazing set of creative stuff happening.
Yeah, my schedule is already going into next week for all of the content we'll be having day by day. It's just such a vast array of things. This week I'm hoping that everything from 2020 is out there. I'm hoping that this week I won't find any, residual things. Because, we're all about the new year. We want to put 2020 behind us. But yesterday we did post a record from Anya Elise, who dropped a record a month ago. It was from December, but it was her debut project, and it was a wonderful, acoustic folk indie pop kind of record, and very gorgeous, very sensual. It's got a lot of really beautiful string movements, and she's played with Valerie Lightheart in the past, just for those who don't know her. But that one went up on the site. We got a new project from Vic Buell, Fallen Angels. It's a really great psych electronic record. Another one of those records you feel like you're on a distant planet or something.
Yes.
There's a lot of people in Milwaukee that make music like that. I feel like whenever I'm writing those projects up, I feel like I constantly regurgitate a lot of the same lingo and verbiage to describe what I'm feeling. Just because a lot of psych, a lot of dungeon synths, a lot of experimental ambient stuff that just makes you feel like you're, just in another dimension. But
yes.
I'll take all that you can get. Stuff.
Yeah, I think the realm of electronic and experimental stuff does kind of live with the fantasy world thing that happens too, because look outside, it's snowing and cold and sucks outside. Of course you're gonna want to dream of being out of there. Yeah. So yeah. I do think that is maybe a little part of it. Indie rock though, especially coming back, Weird Storm. I don't know if we talked about their video. Really like what they're doing.
I'm excited for that band. They've got a project coming out in a couple weeks, and they're another one of those quirky indie bands that take a lot of influence from the 90s indie movement.
Yeah.
Just quirky pop music that's very got a lot of catchy hooks and driving guitar riffs, and it's good to see that stuff is still breathing. So
yeah, and they self-shot that video in the drummer's basement, so shout out to Bob Shop, their drummer.
Yeah.
And they recorded their whole EP there, so I am also looking forward to seeing that project kind of come to life. I know that they got to play at least a show before everything really shut down, but now they've had a chance to kind of grow and mature a little bit. So I'm excited to see what those guys do as well too. We did get a new project. We got a new EP from Von Alexander, which I'm always hyped about on the hip hop side of things. We got some stuff from Cardiac Pulse. We got that Joe Quinto and Classic Song. That
was a good
one.
one.
That one is, I mean, it's early, but it's one of the better songs I've heard in 2021 so far. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah.
So, just two really good artists that get to come together and make something that is, I mean, kind of lives as a one-off for what it is, but I think it's part of the bigger picture. I know Joe Quinto's got some music in the tank ready to go. Classic is always creating stuff. So I am excited for that one as well. So.
Yeah, and then another artist that really kind of made, made waves with his singles in the last year would be Dev Diamond. I knew Dev back when I was working with High Five Studio, and he's just got a really authentic sound. I initially, when I first met him, he was doing primarily hip hop, but over time, he kind of evolved into more of like a R&B sort of realm. But he also kind of like mixes the two at times. So I wrote up his new song that dropped on New Year's, and I like referred to him as a pop artist, and he was like, "Pop artist, eh?" Like he texted me, and I was like, "Hey man, I mean, you're not putting yourself in a box. I don't really know what to call you, but that's a good way to be. It's not a bad thing at all." So
yeah, and I definitely kind of subscribe to the theory that music is getting grayer, in the sense that like we grew up on our parents' records or whatever we discovered early on the internet, but everybody making music now has the world of music available at their fingertip. So like, of course they're going to discover new music, and it's going to sound like everything kind of blends together. So you're going to get hip hop that sounds like pop and R&B. You're going to get, rock influences that meld their way into more, like that's how we have the whole emo rap thing going on. So it won't be really as black and white anymore. I think it's really just getting grayer. And so, yeah, I think anybody could be a pop star now.
Totally. Yeah. Music was never meant to be, this, like, purist, homogenized way of creating. Like it was never meant to be like that black and white thing. It always should be, authentically influenced by things that came before it, because it's going to be influencing the things that come after it.
Yeah.
And if we're talking about what music is going to look like in the next decade, and what will be reinvented, what might make revivals, what new styles that have yet to be really put words to. It excites me, but it also is just a very curious thought. You feel like, what still haven't we made up yet? So
yeah.
I'm glad that a lot of the really critically acclaimed music nowadays is usually made by people that listen to all kinds of things, and
yes.
That's the way it should be.
Yeah, and then the other news that we haven't put up on the site, and Ben, I don't know if you've seen this yet. 88.9 announced today that they are launching a new amplifier series. It's very similar to the Backline program that they were working with, that Generator's going to continue to operate. But they are going to have 4 artists and $10,000 grants. There's going to be an 8-month process of learning the ins and outs of the music business. And the mentors for it are Justin Vernon from Bon Iver, Butch Vig, who was in the band Garbage and is a legendary producer, produced some early Nirvana work, and a sound engineer who also has had credits with Timbaland and Missy Elliott. So big things happening there too, and it's being assembled by Chad Roper, and Be Free is going to be part of the group that is like running the whole thing for 88.9. So shout out to them, because that's exciting to me to see. Anytime that you can have resources available for artists and creators and things like that, amazing to see that can happen in a city like Milwaukee and can continue to thrive and push the music scene here.
That's killer. I'm stoked to see that bring us to the next level, bring these artists to the next level. Good for them. That's awesome.
Yeah, definitely. So that is great. We're going to get into a video real quick from somebody that just put their EP out as well, too. Lost. Am I saying it right, or is it supposed to be L-O-S-T? I think it's supposed to be Lost. I'm going with Lost.
Yeah.
But really like what they're doing. I've heard the project. I just haven't heard the how they say their name. You know. So anyway, this is Blue City by what I'm calling Lost in the writers' room.
It's a blue city no one knows about, but you look so pretty. If you checked it out, and I'd take your picture, standing by the water. And though you'd shiver, you never looked better. And I'm not ready for anything, not even a let go, but suddenly grips loose. checked it out.
That was Lost with Blue City on the writer's room. I was talking to Ben off air here while we were on the side, and we were saying, I am amazed I'm happy that they took advantage of the fact that Milwaukee gets very blue and gray in the wintertime and towards the end of fall, and they took that and ran with it. Like, it is dark at, 5 o'clock right now when we're taping the show. But I'm glad that they did that, and they made a great video from it. And it was another one where I knew where they were filming it. So it's always a nice little tidbit that I like whenever there's a local music video.
Yeah, totally. It's oh, go ahead.
I was gonna ask, purely speculative here, because we are obviously still in the thick of things with the pandemic. Things are kind of nearing the end, but we're still in it, right? When we are out of this, because Lost is a newer band, how many do you think we're gonna have? More bands, or do you think that we're gonna have less bands that are very prominent in the city now? Because some bands probably just fell apart because everybody stayed home for months and didn't really see each other. But I gotta ask, do you think we're gonna see more or less bands in 2021?
That's a good question. I think it. I don't know. Honestly, I haven't seen too much of bands being. I mean, there's definitely no shortage of bands right now. There's a lot of bands that are not being quiet. While there are ones that have been, or ones that were working on something and then just never finished it because of pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
But there's been a lot of side projects and solo efforts that are being done right now that probably came out of that isolating nature.
Yeah.
And so I think I don't know so much if we're going to see less bands, but I would say we're going to see more maybe solo sets.
Yeah.
And I was actually talking to a friend about this recently. I think we're going to see more DIY venues because, sadly some of the venues have shut down. The Public House closed, Pap's Tap Room / Pilot House that closed.
Yeah.
I know Up and Under is relocating. Is my understanding.
Yeah, they're kind of in the process of doing all that, and we lost Fire on Water too. Unfortunately, yeah, they were one of the first ones to go. But yeah, I could definitely see more DIY venues happening, more house shows, things like that.
Yeah.
Which,
well, we also just lost Site 1A
yeah.
/ Site MKE that just closed after this weekend. I heard something. Do you know about the back room at Collectivos and something going on?
They are temporarily closed, but I don't believe that it is going to be a permanent closure. So I think I did read something about it today that there was going to be that they're temporarily closed for whatever reason. Hopefully, just a remodeling, retooling, whatever thing.
Yeah.
But I would assume that the coffee shop will still at least be up and running, and then Pabst Theater Group can continue to operate that venue, hopefully. But we will see on that too. But yeah, I could see more DIY things happening, more DIY venues. Make sure you do support the venues that are still open in Milwaukee too. But I actually think I'm going to see more bands because, and this is just a random thought that I had, was this is the chance for everybody to kind of work on those side projects via email, or do those things that they always said, hey, we were going to go work with this guy and that guy, and never happened. And now I'm well, everybody's at home. They had the chance to send each other music back and forth. So I think coming out of the gate, once we really start to open things up, there's going to be new projects that we've never heard of that are just going to be abundant in the city of Milwaukee. So.
Yeah. There's probably collaborations waiting to happen, like you said, that will manifest once things are safer to do so. And, we will see will see the likely demise of, some projects. for example, a band I like, Beach Burial, just broke up.
Yeah.
But they're going to be working on different stuff. I know they will be. I think that part of that is owed to the natural evolution of, creative directions.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that we will start seeing more new projects that maybe have already kind of started, but just haven't done anything yet or haven't announced anything.
Yeah.
Because God knows, I mean, people are eager to play out, and they miss live music just as much as we do.
Yeah, and that is something that is very true. Is when venues start to reopen and start foraying into shows again. I think that whole first week, I'm probably gonna be somewhere every night. I'm just gonna be an IV of rum and coke and supporting our local bands, and checking out what people have been up to, seeing people I haven't seen in a year. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that for sure. So anyway, in the meantime, we should get into one of my favorite segments that we do here on the show. It's where we give you some homework. We give you an album to go listen to next week. Ben and I both have extensive record collections. Ben runs into the other room and grabs one at random. I just reach behind me and we pick something, and then you got to figure it out and go listen to it however you consume music. So, Ben, would you like to go first this week, or I can go first? It does not matter to me.
You can go first this week.
Okay. Let's see. I'm going to go to the all the way to the top shelf. We're going to go... I went early alphabet last time, so I'm going to go top shelf here, which is probably like middle alphabet.
Okay.
And we are pulling out... we are pulling out Paul McCartney's "Give My Regards to Broad Street," which is it's an interesting album for sure. Let's see, 1984 Paul McCartney. So I don't want to say that this isn't his best album, because Paul McCartney is a fucking genius and he's great. This one's probably not his best album. I don't remember "Give My Regards to Broad Street" being highly up there. We got "Silly Love Songs" and the reprise to it. We got Eleanor Rigby is on here, a version of Eleanor Rigby, obviously not the Beatles version. "Yesterday" is on here. So there's a few little things that are in here.
There's some classic renditions, sure.
Yes, and it's a soundtrack, so that is on me. I didn't know that either, actually. It is a soundtrack. It's got Paul McCartney, Ringo Starr is in it, Linda McCartney is in it, Tracy Ullman is on this. So interesting choice, but you never know what you're gonna get with my record collection, and sometimes I don't know either. This is an amazing shot of 80s Paul McCartney on the cover of this. Just this contemplative thought about whatever this cartoon man is doing. So it looks like something is being smuggled, but I don't know.
Well,
Philadelphia is probably involved. That's where Broad Street is. That's all I know.
How suspenseful.
Yes. Oh, and I'm sorry. There's an amazing booklet of covers once again, of just crazy 80s photos of the Beatles, well, of members of the Beatles, and Paul and Linda McCartney as well. So make sure you go find that one and stream it. It's probably out on everything because it's Paul McCartney. So,
Right, yeah.
Ben, what do you have for us this week?
I have. Ooh, this is a good one. This is yeah. Just wanted to make sure. It's Grouper.
Okay.
Dragging a dead deer up a hill. Sometimes I get Grouper and Julia Holter mixed up, so I just had to double check. But yeah, this is a really, really good ambient record. Grouper is one of my favorite ambient, kind of, I would not call her pop music at all, but just sort of like this dreamy, ambient folk stuff. It's very like drenched in reverb. And this record came out in, I believe, like the late 2000s, but it's got a very like kind of cryptic like font that's used like on the cover as well as on the record itself. But this is the back, kind of
Sweet.
just this like
I do
circle of branches.
I do always appreciate good album artwork. Obviously, that's why we point out
Very
things
important.
like this. And I appreciate that we had polar opposite albums. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, Alan, do you have any records from like from after the year 2000?
Let me look. I have Paramore's After Laughter here.
I love how you know exactly where that one is.
That one, well, my wife absolutely loves Paramore, so that one was a quick one to find. I have Gold's, what's the name of this one? I got Gold's Teeth record. So
That's a good one too.
I own those two that are past the year 2000, and somewhere in here I have a Too Short Blow the Whistle DJ cut version. So I got 3. I have 3 records that were made past the year 2000 that were in here. I definitely have some stuff from Triple I Industries, local label, because I got some of those from Marty. So somewhere I have
no shade thrown at all.
no.
Just a lot of your stuff is very like old and obscure.
The majority of the stuff that I own is from another decade and from another millennium, and it does lean towards the obscure side. So, no offense taken, but I have at least 3 records that I could find that were made after the year 2000.
Well, good. Someone actually just told me to get into the new Haley Williams record that came out in the last year. Apparently, it's good.
I've heard it extensively. Very good. It's good shit for sure.
Okay, good.
So, okay. With that, let's get into one last video. This is a very fun one. It's from a ska band called Something to Do, and if you know them, well, you're one of the few people that still listen to ska. No, that sounds bad, but these guys are a long-running ska band, and they've made some really great albums, and this new stuff that they're working on is very fun. We're going to watch them do some TikTok challenges in this one. I like this video a lot. I believe it was originally oriented for your phone, so have fun with that if you're trying to watch this on Twitch on your phone. But if you're watching it, on Facebook or whatever later, just full screen this shit. It'll be good. So, and it's a good song. This is I Wish the Best for You by Something to Do.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh no.
Well, I've never been supportive. Well, maybe sort of now and again it's true. But now it's different with you. Well, I had all of my feelings, but I'm dealing with a feeling that's new. And that's because of you too. Know you have your troubles, I have had my troubles too. Please don't let them get to you. I wish the best for you. I wish the best for you. I hope you know it's true. I want the best, yes I do, yes I do, yes I do. Wish the best for you. I wish the best for you. I hope you know it's true. I want the best, yes I do, yes I do, yes I do. Wish the best for you.
You say you want your freedom. Well, who am I to keep you down? It's only right that you should.
I wish the best for you. I hope you know it's true. I want the best, yes I do, yes I do, yes I do. Wish the best for you. I wish the best for you. I hope you know it's true. I want the best, yes I do, yes I do, yes I do. Wish the best for you. I wish the best for you. I wish the best for you.
That was something to do. The song is called I Wish the Best for You. And a really fun video. I do like at the end to follow them on Vine. You can do that apparently. I like anytime a band lets their personality show and has fun in a video. And they certainly got creative with that one. They could have been TikTok famous. Possibly. They could have tried. But, everything that those guys do is actually a lot of fun. So, they were probably one of my favorite shows that I've booked. I booked them at Catalano Square in the 3rd Ward, and they brought all 12 of them. And I believe I also booked them to play the Tonic Tavern one time, which is a very tiny stage, and we got the whole band, however many people are in it. I don't even know. The horn section was standing on the side of the stage. It was what some people would call a mess. Yeah, absolute cluster.
Yeah.
So.
But, I'm sure they still managed to do the thing, knowing them. They are a very exciting show. They were one of the first shows I covered for the site. And I remember I saw them at Shank Hall.
Okay.
And they were, opening for some, reggae/ska band from the 80s. It was a really old band, but I remember just making the headline. Something to do gave us something to do.
Yep.
Because of course, but
yeah.
I know that video got covered at Brooklyn Vegan.
Sweet.
So good for them.
Yeah, definitely. All right, well, we are about to head out. That is another episode of The Writer's Room. We always give you a little bit of wisdom at the end of the show. I don't really have a ton today, actually. It is snowing, and it is cold, and as we've learned over the last few months, sometimes you gotta do whatever just makes you feel happy, and take some time for you today. That's my... How about that? Short and sweet. That is my wisdom. Take some time for you. Make sure you go do something that makes you feel happy when it sucks outside. Whatever you got to do.
Yeah, my advice is to, go, as soon as you're done watching this, go to your kitchen, pour yourself a glass of water, and drink it.
Okay.
Have a glass of water. It's my short and sweet advice for this week.
I like it. Just little tips to help you get through your everyday life. That's what we're here to provide. We are also here to provide daily music, and you can do that every single day at you can check that out every single day at breakingandentering.net. You can also find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, YouTube, TikTok, Twitch. We got a newsletter, we got an online radio show, we got a podcast. We're all over the internet. You should watch this on Twitch. If you're watching this later, you should come subscribe to us on Twitch. I think it is the way of the future, Ben. This is where the kids are going to all end up going to watch their content. 5 years from now, you're going to see Pitchfork with a Twitch channel, and you're going to be like, those Breaking and Entering guys, they did it first. So,
they were the prophets that foresee this.
Yes, exactly. So that's what we're here to do. Thank you guys so much for watching us, however you watch us. Thank you for consuming our content, however you do that. And we will see you next time on The Writer's Room. Peace.
Peace.
Jinx, you owe me a Coke.